Hello everybody, this is the Angelfish God here with another video. This is just a quick thing about cleaning a tank and just keeping it up on the maintenance. That what I have done today is that I noticed there's quite a bit of algae that's like on the glass, so I've cleaned the glass. I've not done a water change. See here that there used to be quite a bit of algae, like really bad algae here. That was quite like the type of algae that'd be quite difficult to get off, which I've taken off now. So the front of the glass is a lot cleaner now, as you can see, which is a good thing, especially when you have live plants, because they need the light. So you want to make sure the glass is kept clean. You don't really need to worry about the back of the tank. There's generally the sides and the front. If you want to keep the back clean, go ahead, but just don't. Make sure that if you do have like suckerfish, that you do need to keep in mind that you can't have like no algae in here, because you gotta remember that they do eat it, and that it'd probably be better off for them in the algae that has grown in your tank than like giving them algae wafers all the time. Now I have not cleaned this side yet. See the algae there? And you have like all this down here. This guy's the guy that eats the algae. But I only have like 2 in here, so it's not gonna be like a mass difference. And also this plant here has a lot of algae on, which I will be cleaning, or trying to get as much of it off as possible when I do next water change. I'll do a video on that, how to clean the plant to make all the algae off. But if you want to, but with plants they're very delicate. So like a plant like this I found is very delicate, and that you can easily break off its leaves, you can. And with this plant it's a bit more hardy. I would say nowhere near as delicate as this plant, where I literally tapped it and I pulled a leaf off. I did. With this guy I can kind of manhandle it a bit more, but I wouldn't generally say like do it extremely hard. But the best way, if you don't really want to do a water change, I would say, because doing like a water change like all the time isn't like the best thing, because when you take the water out, you take the good sorry, they might hear some dogs barking. You might hear like take all the good bacteria out, which you want to try and keep in. So you can do like a water change every week, but I wouldn't be doing anything like a 50%. I wouldn't, maybe like 20% I would. Or let's have the general amount of like weeks to not do a water change is generally 2 weeks. But if you have a smaller tank, then obviously then it'll get dirty a lot quicker. But with bigger tanks, the less you have to clean it, but the harder it is to clean it, because obviously there's a lot more water. You have to clean the glass a bit more, you do, and also the gravel will be a lot more dirtier as well. That's very dirty around my plants at the moment, because like food that goes down there, even though I have corridors, they don't eat all of it. They don't. So let's clean the glass. That's a lot cleaner. It is. I did do the side part here, and it's a bit better. It is, which is a good thing. But I didn't really clean this side just because this baby fish net is here, and I don't really want to be knocking it around. I don't, and disturbing them, because they could die. I have done a couple water change with them in here. Actually, I've done 2. I did 20%, and then I did pretty much a 50% change. And after I did it, a lot of them did die. So I recommend only doing a 20% if you have like baby fish in your tank, because you do 50%, the likelihood of most of them dying is very likely. But I can move these guys, so I would rather keep them here than moving them here, because my filter's there, and I'm just worried that my filter is reasonably strong, so they can get sucked in there pretty easy. And even though they're in there, I don't really want them to be like constantly swimming against it. I don't. But keeping your general like tank clean is really important, but you don't need to do like a water change to clean your glass. That you can just generally just get like a sponge like this, you can, which I used today, and this sponge you can get scrapers. You can, that will take the harder algae off, but this one is good just for like the light green algae, and also this will like take the mess of the algae floating around your tank a lot lower, because it will stay on the sponge. You see those black parts, those are algae, so it'll sort of stay on the sponge a bit more, so it won't be floating around in your tank. It won't. You can use a kitchen sponge if you want, but make sure like it hasn't really been used, you know, and rinse it really well, because you don't want anything bad going into your fish tank and killing all your fish. That I'll show you that what I've been doing. That it'd be probably better if you took the lights off, just so you don't like hit the light or get any water on the lights. You don't really want to get any water on it, but literally all you want to do is just put it in your tank, and then this, what you want to push quite hard, you do down on it, because you do get like harder spots, but there's still some algae down here which I need to clean. So yeah, this comes off. You might be able to hear the glass squeaking because I'm pressing quite hard down on it. That you want to get this stuff off. So it's come off, not on there anymore. But also like on the top part here, you see there's quite a bit, but that's because I don't normally tend to clean the glass part here, because the water doesn't go all the way up here. That normally on a tank you will have a little line normally on a tank, which is inside here, those red lines that says max. That's where your water level should be at, on those lines, and you can see there's quite a bit of space and algae on there, and you don't really tend to clean that area, so normally you do get quite a lot of algae. You can clean it, but there's not much point to it though, unless you want to like do something else with the tank. Then maybe you should clean it, because you'll get some really bad algae on the tank. The bit algae right there next to my net. You have to be careful, because you can see it's moving, the net, and I don't want it to disturb my baby fish all too much, because they're very delicate. I haven't even had them for a month, 1 month yet. I haven't, but with the harder algae you'd be better off with a scraper. But if you're not doing a water change, then you don't really want to like have a ton of it floating around in your tank. You don't, because you can see all that like kind of black stuff is algae which is stuck to the sponge. So that's like all the algae that's came off. You can flip it around, you can, and take some of the algae off, but with a harder to do like algae, you will want to like get a scraper, which is like this kind of algae, like the really black algae, which is like that. It's very hard to get off. It is that. My baby fish are actually doing really well. They're getting quite big, so I'm going to show you my baby fish. They're really small. There they are. These fish are mollies, and the type of colouring they will have is bumblebee, so they'll be like half black, half yellow. There's a lot of stuff at the bottom, but I can't really take it out. That next time that when I have them, I'll do a lot better job of looking after them, because you don't really want that stuff at the bottom. I can't really suck it out. I've tried to, but it didn't work. The water is pretty like bad, to be honest, because you can see like the stuff which is the oil from like the proteins and things sitting at the bottom of this. These guys seem to be doing pretty alright. Some of them actually look quite nice, like they're going to be very nice. But I fed them a second ago. That they've grown a tiny little bit. They have, so they're a tiny bit bigger, and their colours are really good. So I hope they don't just all die. I've been feeding them well. I've been feeding them flake, which was a mistake, because I didn't realise I was supposed to feed them like baby brine shrimp. But I'm gonna get some, actually I'm not gonna do baby brine shrimp, I'm gonna do some banana ones, and I'll do a video on how to like make them, hatch them, look after them, you know, not hatch them, you don't need to hatch them, but I'll do a video on that when I get them, and I'll show you how to look after fry. These are mollies, by the way, that these baby fish are, and they're these guys here. They are that are the parents. They're bumblebee mollies. They are. But my tank at the moment is pretty dirty. I might do a water change again this week, but you shouldn't really do it too much, and I end up getting whinged at because of it as well, which I don't really like. So I'll say that's about it for today's video, and I'll see you guys later.